Hello crafters and a very warm welcome to my channel. I have something very exciting in my hands here and I don't think you are going to be disappointed when you see what it is. Now, I'm Lisa from the brand lisahortoncrafts, and as you know, we bring you the most amazing metallic ink pads. You have been asking me for some time to consider bringing out some re-inkers for these pads. Now, re-inkers are always quite a divisive thing. Some people love them, some people hate them. But me personally, I love them. I love them because of the versatility of them. Now, the metallics are just a phenomenal set of re-inkers. And the reason being is, first of all, you can re-ink those beautiful pads you've got in your stash. Or if you don't have the pads, it does not matter. You can still use these re-inkers in a very similar way. So I'm just going to take you through the colours we've got, and I'm going to show you a few swatches of products that we have or things we have created with these. Now I'm going to show you good and bad. I'm going to show you what I like, what I don't like, and then I will open one of them and I will give you a little, not a finished sample, but I will give you a little idea of how they go down on paper on black and white card. So let me flick you to the overhead and we will go through every single colour that we have in the range and how they work. So as you can see here, I've got the box here and I've got all these beautiful re-inkers. Now, what you'll find straight away is yours will come with an additional lid and it will be wrapped in cellophane. So what you need to do is remove the white lid, pierce the film and replace it with the pipette that comes with it, or the little tiny nozzle. Insert that inside and screw your lid on. There is a video I've done on how to construct our re-inkers in as such, so check out that video. But for this video, you can just see mine have already been done. But you do get a set of 10, so you get the colours, obviously, of those beautiful, bright metallic ink pads. So you get your ultraviolet, coastline, mojito, sunshine, love struck, verdigris, false gold, pumpkin, bronze and titanium. Now I will bring in one of the metallic ink pads so you can see. So when you look at this ink pad, it's got this beautiful foam base. Now we have the foam base because we have pigment in here, and what we tend to do is use these for large areas. I like to swipe these onto my card. I like to use these for making backgrounds and all sorts of things. But the re-inkers allow you to start doing some colouring maybe, or getting your paintbrush out, lots of different ways, or dropping a little piece of that into some, I don't know, some clear gel medium. Give yourself that beautiful texture as well, but colour it. So what you'll find with a re-inker is they have the same pigment that is in your ink pad. So the Love Struck, for example, here is just as vibrant and just as juicy and contains just as much pigment as the ink pad does too. So I'll bring in a piece of card and I'm going to show you how they look on black and white cardstock. So here's the black and white card, but I'm also going to bring in a matte. I'm very aware I've got a wooden desk and these colours are so pigmented. I just don't want to stain my desk when it's so pristine at the moment. So here we go. So here is our silicone matte. Now you might see on my silicone matte already, we do have some discoloration. That is the metallic, that is the yellow. And what I did is I tried to see if it was going to come off completely, if I left it a little bit of time, or if it was going to stain. Now I left it for 10 minutes, it stained. If you're not happy with that, then I would suggest that you use something, or put some card down, or put something that you really don't mind getting stained. Sometimes packaging is really great. You know, the clear, cello bags are great to put over the top just to give you a surface to work on. So let me bring back in this black and white card now, and I'm going to show you the blending. I'm going to show you how these work. Now I'm going to bring in a pink brush because we're going to use that Love Struck. I'm going to move the rest of them out of the way for now, and I'm going to stick with the Love Struck simply because all of them do the same thing, but the pink is one of my favourites. What I might even do is bring the yellow in shortly because the yellow and the pink together make a beautiful orange. Now, the pink one, you'll see has been used already. So you can see inside, it's a little bit grubby. So again, what I tend to do is keep it on the mat where I think it's going to be safe. I'm not going to knock it up there, so it's going to be perfectly fine. Now, if you apply this directly to your cardstock, you will see how dark that is. And you'll see it's also very gloopy. So you're going to have kind of it's kind of like a few strings that come from it. I'm going to put it on the black as well. So you'll see both these colours. Well, you can't see them as pink, but you'll see both of these colours are very, very dark at the moment. So when we start to move this around, hopefully you can see you've got that pink colour. Now what you can see straight away is where that sat, it's dried, and obviously you can't blend it. Now that isn't what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to lay down colour and show you. I'm doing this on purpose, and you'll be thinking, why is she doing this? But it will make sense. So when you lift this up, you can see there's not really any shimmer, is there, at all? And when I use this one, you'll see no shimmer really. You can't see the colour. And that's because we haven't shaken the bottle. So if you find yours are coming out 0 on black card, just remember to shake that pigment. So you see in the bottom here, there's all your colour. Up here is the dry base. Down here is your pigment. They have ball bearings in the bottom, and I tend to tap to loosen the ball bearing, and then I shake. It's a super good workout for your arms, but as you can see, as I'm shaking, it's starting to mix. I tend to store them upright, but if you store them on their side, upside down, it doesn't really matter. All I'd say is you're still going to have to mix it because it will settle wherever it is. So now when I pop this colour down, hopefully you can start to see that's got some pearliness in it, or you'll see it in a moment. I'm going to pop it here and you'll see a completely different colour ink. So pop the lid back on and you'll see now when I move this around, let me lift that up for you. You can now see, now here was the unshaken area and here is the area we've shaken. So make sure you shake. And again, that's going to stain because I left it to sit. But this again, when this dries, is going to be completely different. So you're going to get a nice shimmer coming off of that. Don't know if you can see it already. Hopefully you can. Yes, you can. Look at the difference. So this one, not shaken, this one shaken. Completely different. So also remember, you do need to leave them to dry. Now, so straight away, look at that. That is just phenomenal. That's just literally a tiny amount of colour. So what you can also do with these is paint with them, as you can see. So if you have an embossing folder, you can absolutely paint with these. And I'm just going to see if I've got one that I've done previously. I do, but it's a half finished one. And it was when I was doing this with interference ink. So you can see here, this is with interference. This is with the same colour interference. So this pink is obviously blue here. So if I can find a brush, and let me just show you how we do that. So again, I'm going to move this just slightly over here. And I'm going to bring these two pieces in. Now this has still got a lot of ink on it. You can see that. So what I would recommend is that you wipe off your excess ink before you pop that back into the storage container you keep yours in. So let's bring that pink in again. I will just pop it onto this piece of black card here, okay? So we keep the mess to a minimum. And I'll show you now how beautifully they paint. So you can just grab some of this ink in here. And if I do this on the white card, I'm just going to pick one of these leaves, and I haven't got the best brush in the world, but it just gives you the idea. If you go straight to paper, it dries quite quickly. Sorry about that noise. Somebody has got a car alarm going off, if you can hear that. So you can see here, you can absolutely paint with it, but it dries quite quickly, as I said. So if we add a little bit of water to that, and I'm going to pop the water on my mat, and then if we pick up that paint again, This will now go a lot further. So if I pick a different leaf, for example, let's come around here. You can now see you can paint very easily with these. And if you want to, you can mix your colours too. Interference goes further because it has a different kind of consistency almost. But let me just show you what I'm trying to achieve. So when I now move that, can you see? It's very hard. It needs to dry first at the bottom here. Just down here. As it's drying, the shimmer is starting to appear. And of course, if I do the same on black, you're going to get exactly the same. But again, unlike interference, for that shimmer to appear, you just need to allow them to dry. Just leave them to dry for a few minutes. Well, it's a few seconds really. Just pop some colour down here, just so you can see. I'm not trying to do anything glamorous. I'm just trying to kind of give you some ideas about how these actually work. So when I lift this up, can you see now how that's dried? Interference, and this is metallic. So they still give you that beautiful, beautiful shine. The difference is really they don't change colour like the interference, but they are stunning. So down here, it's so difficult to see. It's trying to catch the light for you. I think you can see it. It's just very, there you go, right at the bottom there. Just on this one you can see now. You can see that shimmer starting to come through. That's because I put quite a lot of water on that one. So beautiful. So you can absolutely paint with these. Brilliant. The other thing I did try doing, which I didn't really like the result of, I'm going to be honest with you. I literally, let's grab my tester piece and show you. I dotted some ink, different colours you can see here. It's the pink. You'll see the shine still coming through though. I dotted the pink, I dotted the yellow, and I dotted the blue on here. Now, it's funny, isn't it, what colour shows up better on the camera? The blue and the yellow seem to show up a little bit better. I don't know why that is. It's just the nature of the cameras, I think. But what I did is I put that ink down and I got another piece of card and I just smooshed it. Okay, that's all I did. No water. And all it did was that. So I was thinking, oh no, they're not as blendable as I was hoping. Then what I decided to do is change it up. And I took my ink and I placed it on my mat, like so. I'm going to bring in the yellow as well, just to show you. I haven't shaken this. I'm going to give this a shake. Tap. And I'll pop this down as well. Beautiful colour. And to get the colour to move, all you need to do is add some water. So we'll add some water to that. Can you see how solid it is? And I take my brush, and I know this has pink on it, but you can take a clean brush, and I just start to move this around, okay, like so. Look at this on white now. Let me just move this over. Let me show you now. Look at this. You've now created your own metallic, kind of rusty colour paint. Look at that. I love that. Perfect. Look at that. Let's see if we can let that dry, and you've got your kind of own rusty orange. Beautiful. That's not what I'm meant to be showing you. However, let me move the yellow out of the way. And all we do is we then smoosh. And you'll see now, you see that now? You get that much better kind of smooshy look. There we are. So you can do that also black and white card. So I'm going to stick with these pieces that I'm working with. Can you see the pink coming through that on the orange as well? It's crazy. Very, very beautiful. And then all we do is we take this and we do the same thing. Obviously, we've got less left. I can kind of add a little bit of water and wiggle that around a little bit. So you can start to see how you can do it on both colours. You'll see there wasn't a lot of colour left, but you get the idea anyway. You can see the colour moving. So that's black and white card again. I really like the effect that you can create with this. So if you look at that now that's dried on black where we had the pigment there. How beautiful is that? So that's how you can start creating some really cool backgrounds. That looks like an under the sea, doesn't it? And then all I'll do is I'll give this a little wipe off. And you'll see it appears to be the yellow that stains the most. However, I use this one all the time now just for my Reinkers. So the other thing you can do with them, if you like these techniques, if you don't want to get a messy mat, pop them on something like this. So I'll do this on white so you can see a better result, because we only saw kind of the excess ink, didn't we, on that card previously. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the blue. Oh, no, I'm not going to take the blue. Now that's rookie error. Shake it. Very rookie error. So all you do is take the lid off. Now I've used mine lots, so mine is a little bit dirty in the lid. Just give that a wash. I've been storing these on this side. That's the problem. It doesn't really matter though. You absolutely can do that. And then I'm going to bring in some of the yellow. Now when you put the yellow and the blue together, you will get green. And when you add in the pink, you will get purple. You might be able to see that starting there with the green. It's crazy, very beautiful. So you make your own colours as well. I'm going to pop a little bit of that pink in there. You need to be careful not to put too many colours in, because you can make your ink go muddy. And then I'm going to hold it this way because I don't want the ink to go flying. I'm going to just literally add some water, and I'm going to kind of wiggle this around a little bit. And then with that brush, we all know that's still got the pink on it, so apologies. Let me see what that's like on here, on my spare piece. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Goodness me, you're going to be able to create some awesome colours. Wow. Stunning. Right, let's keep that brush again safe. And you can either turn this to the card or the other way around. I'm literally going to turn this over. I'm going to let all these pieces do their thing. And look at that now. Can you see that through the card? Now press it down. You can leave it, you can pick it up, you can do whatever you want. There's a lot of water here. You can tap it off. You can heat set it. Just so many opportunities. And then you lift that. So you can see that already. If I lean that. And then I can do the same down here. Now, if I'm running out of kind of water, really, just add a little bit more water. I can wiggle this around a little bit. Obviously, I've run out of pink on there, but that's fine. This is just demonstration purposes. And then I can pop into this gap here and start building that up. You see that? But look, this just gives you a little bit more opportunity. You know, it's something a bit different. It's going to make great backgrounds, and it's going to be really handy if you want to kind of do your background and then die cut some flowers, for example. And then if you find this is too heavy, you can take your piece of tissue, give it a little wipe. And then that will dry beautifully. Now I'm going to leave that to dry. I don't tend to force dry with a heat tool. You can, but let me just show you when I wiggle this for you. It's starting to dry already. And some of the colour is going to end up down here, and I can see some gold appearing at the bottom here. But you do have to have a little patience and allow that to dry. So whilst we are waiting for that to dry, let me show you some of the other ones that I've already created. So this is literally things like this. I'm just going to move the Reinkers out of the way. Move the card out of the way. Let me just show you. I'm just going to be random with these. So again, that was what I've just shown you on the white card, and I've left that to dry. Okay, so if I lift that one up, you can see all those colours coming through, all ready to die cut. Trim that white off and pop that onto some black card. If I grab a piece of black card and show you what I mean. Can you see how that will start to stand out as a really lovely background? So that's the first one. This is one like I've just shown you, but this is a dry one. Hopefully you can see that kind of sparkle coming through. And then we have some of the black card. So these were mop-ups. After we'd done the white card, this was what was left on the mat. And again, this was actually one I did on the black first. And this was bits I had left, look, different colours. How pretty is that? And again, you can see where I've been practicing and playing. And you can see that coming through. Very beautiful. And down here, look at those. And here, this was when there was nothing left. And still, you've got that really kind of muted, pretty background. And more. Keeping it more pastel. And bring that black in again, look. Die cut that out with one of your favourite shape dies. It's going to look great. And this one as well. Again, that's like what we've just done. So this is now, I'll bring that one back in. You can see that it's drying beautifully. And I should have spread that out a little more, maybe a little bit less water. But you can see here, how gorgeous. Just really cool backgrounds. And again, a bit of mopping up. But you can still see that shimmer coming through. And finally, look at that. Trim that out. Oh, that's going to look so cool. So cool. Wow. So that is what I've been doing. I also use one of my dies. So this is a die set that I've got. This beautiful flower here. And I used this element here as a stencil. And I used it like this. So look, when you do change your colours, less is more on the ink. Look at that. How pretty. And then here I did a flower. All Reinkers. Just mixing your colours. The orange is actually from the pink and the yellow, and then the green is from the yellow and the blue. So it's those three colours again. It's really beautiful, and it just is stunning. Stunning. So the last thing I wanted to just talk you through is how to re-ink your pad. So what I highly recommend is you use, I haven't got one with me, I would highly recommend that you use a old credit card or something. And I just tend to, I don't really want to put too much on because this is a beautiful juicy pad. I literally pop some drops around. This is all I do anyway. I just pop the drops around. And then I kind of leave them to soak in. If I find it's not spreading, I will literally use the credit card and kind of pull it across and move it around and allow it to kind of almost like a spatula when you move it around. So you can literally move the ink around as you want to. That's how I do it. And you can see it's got loads of ink on there anyway. So if you find your ink pad is drying, you can do that. But I tend to like using my Reinkers just as a completely separate product. I just love them. I think they've got so many uses. And let me bring the package back in to show you what you get. So obviously these are your regular metallics, but alongside that, of course, now these Reinkers give you the ability to do more. Remember, if you have something like a white gesso, you could add some to your white gesso. The downside of adding it to a white gesso is opaque. So you will lose the shimmer, but you will maintain the colour. So remember that. If you use a clear gel medium, you will maintain that shimmer because it's clear and you haven't got an opaque colour preventing it from sparkling. So just start thinking about things, all your different pastes. It's going to be brilliant. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that gave you a little bit of an insight into how you can use your beautiful metallic reinkers. There will be lots more content coming out on these. There's going to be loads of ways of using these and I would love to show you more. But for today, that's it. I hope you can join me on the next video, but I do hope you manage to get your hands on these wonderful, wonderful, bright, beautiful colours from Lisa Horton Crafts.